Hello and welcome to Newsmakers for this Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. I'm Louie Butko. Thank you for joining us. And every so often, we want to take you behind the scenes here at CHCH and get to know some of the faces you see and the ones you don't who help make TV magic. And today, I'm very pleased to be joined by Morning Live director, switcher, Laura Brody. What's up, Laura Brody?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I really backed myself into a corner here because I invited you on the show like a few weeks ago because I was really struggling to find content. People weren't saying
the only reason I'm on.
I was like, man, Brody, like, you want to come on? And then you got a haircut for it.
Yeah.
You were dressed really nice.
Yeah.
And then we got in and we're like, we can't do it today. We got to do something else. And then last time I had Simone on, I really backed myself into a corner by telling everybody that I was going to have you on.
So now you had to have me on.
I had to have you on.
That makes complete sense.
But I wanted to bring you on because you have quite a history with this little place called CHCH.
I do. So I basically grew up at the station because my dad he worked for over 30 years at the station. And I'm not entirely sure if that's like where my love of TV came from, but I was from a baby until now here I am. And I used to go into the station and because he did the graphics or the Chiron back in the day. So I used to go and I would write my name as the anchor and then I would go sit at the anchor desk and I would make him key me as if I was anchoring the news.
There's a nice picture we got there on program. So your dad was here for 30 years.
Over 30 years,
so
yep.
You never felt like pressure to get into TV? It was just something that you were kind of born to do, really.
Yeah. And my parents actually met at the station because my mom used to work in accounting. So. And
don't you have a significant other who also used to
He also used to work at the station, yes. I actually got him his job here.
Amazing. Your job here now, director switcher.
Yeah.
You're up pretty early.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting shift. Is that like you're obviously very good at it? Is that something you've always wanted to do? Was that like a role that when you were coming in to see your dad, you're like, wow, that person in the main chair pressing all the buttons, like that's a big deal?
No, I actually, when I ended up going to school, I went for broadcast journalism because I wanted to be on TV as a reporter, and then when I started working here, I realized that's not at all what I want to do. So I'm very comfortable here right now.
yeah, I can tell.
But yeah, I just decided that's not what I wanted to do. One of my teachers at Mohawk told me there was a job opening at CH for a PA. I said, sounds great, I'll apply. Went home, asked my dad what a PA stood for, and then I got the job, so I must have done something right, and kind of just worked my way up. And then when I started PAing is when I realized, like, I want to learn how to direct. So that's what I started doing, and then got that full time. And then when we came into this building, I also had to learn how to switch, which is a whole nother
It's like playing the piano,
yeah.
right? Like it's pretty insane. And I am instantly like intimidated. Like you say, like, I didn't want to be on camera. Like you can put me on camera and tell me I'm live on TV and you got to talk, just talk. And I could be able to do that like without breaking a sweat. Like, like the different skills different people have.
It's true.
You tell me to go in front of that board and pull up lights and bring the mics up and do that. Like I am intimidated by like the 2 screens I have on my like desktop setup. Like this is like
That's
8
true.
screens around, like 1,000 buttons. Cause like you say, it's playing the piano. There is like a certain art to all of it. How long did it take you to kind of pick that up?
Well, I didn't learn how to switch when I learned how to direct, so it was a lot easier to tell someone else what to do and just make the calls, and then someone else had to push the buttons. Coming in here to this new building, though, it was like the first month I was scared every day of like hitting a button and being like, that took me off air or anything. Now it's kind of just like second nature where you're just like, you're hitting this, you're doing that, you're online shopping over here.
That's what that one screen is for. I knew it.
That's what that one screen's for.
And let's be clear, you're not bossing people around. You got Brent behind you. You get to tell him where you want the camera to be, what you want shooting. So you still get a little bit of that.
It's exactly true. And cueing the anchors, it's like, and I always threaten if you don't like me, I'm going to make you look bad. So
luckily you like everybody on the morning show.
I
should be a little worried then, because I'll be filling in. Oh, look at this!
See, I like them all.
This is it's you and Brian and Tim.
Brian's my favorite.
Brian is a legend.
Yeah.
Getting to work with Brian every morning, like that gravitas that he brings. Because that's the thing. Like, it is pretty intimidating to come into a show that you've been watching. Like you said, Annette, you've been watching her the last 20 years here. And then be in their ear, being like, you got to get to commercial.
Yeah.
Like, it does take putting on, like, I don't want to say like big girl pants, but like,
No.
it does, it for a career where you need to tell them or else they'll just keep talking.
And I
certain
think,
people, like, present company included here, like, we'll just keep talking unless you get in our ears.
I think the good thing is here, it's like, we all have like a good working relationship too, where it's like anchors and like egos are left at the door. Or in the studio sometimes, but at the door. And it's like, we're all kind of just a family here where we all respect each other. We all know what our roles are. And we're putting on live TV every day. So it's got to run smoothly.
To that point, live TV, you say, like, you don't even think about it now that you're switching, but that first couple of times, like, this one button can put us off the air. This one button. That, like, there's that adrenaline of live TV. Like, we have 8-hour shifts. If I'm on the desk on morning live, then it's a 3-hour show.
Yep.
And it really is like that 3 hours. Like, what goes through your mind? Like, how do you like prepare because you're up so early, right? Like, how do you get in that mind stage where, like, listen, if I'm hosting Trending Now, it's the very last thing at the end of the shift I'm doing, right? It's, my shift is until 7:30. The show's at 7 and then it's over. As soon as you get here, you hit the ground running. How do you mentally, physically, like, get used to that? Because morning TV is not easy.
I think it's just because you're awake at that point, right? Like, you're up, you haven't wasted any time during the day. So it's like, and I've been doing this full time for over 5 years, and I've done every shift. Like, I've done a 3 a.m. to 11, I've done an 8 to 4, I've done a 10 to 6, I've done an 11 to 7, and a 4 to midnight. And I think, like, the morning show is just like where I want to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a 9 to 5 person. I would get nothing done during the day because I wouldn't do anything before and I'd do nothing after. So it's like.
As somebody who works 9 to 5 here, it seems like a really personal attack on me.
What do you do before and after work?
That's a great question. What do I do at work too? That's a good question sometimes too. You were mentioning about, those memories of sitting on the desk, putting your name in the prompter. What else kind of stands out to you? We're celebrating 70 years here at CH. As somebody who has spent little less than half of those 70 years in this building or with this station. What sticks out to you as we go through this retrospective?
I think it's just all the different things that, like, they've gone through. It's like they started at CH, then they went to On TV. On TV did a full tour across Ontario, I went on a couple of them, which was fun. It was the Spirit of Ontario tour. And that was like a bunch of live locations. And I think it's just like, back in the day, it was a lot of like live on location things. And I think that's what really got me excited to do it. Like, I love doing the news, but I love doing things outside of the building. Like, I would love to go do the Olympics or something like that, which I think back in the day, a lot of them did because they all freelanced out as well. So it's kind of just learning new things and going through the motions, but elsewhere, Like, I would love to go do the Emmys or do the Grammys or something like that just to experience something different. But like CH, you've just seen it change as well, but we've always been a local station that has always brought news. And I think it's just a fun place to work. Like, I had one friend, and she was interviewed back in the day by Nick Dixon, and she was like, "Can I get that interview?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to him." And she's like, "You get to talk to Nick Dixon?" And I was just like, "He's not behind glass." Like,
in his office all day.
It's like, we talk to each other. Like, it's not. I've never worked in Toronto, but I feel like it's just more of like a close knit family here, where it's just like, we're all friends. If we want to be.
If I want to be.
If we want to be, we're all friends.
Thank you. So you can, while we're rolling, get this.
Yes.
We are friends.
We are friends.
Oh my God. Brent and I are friends too, though, right?
You guys are best friends, I heard. Yeah.
Best friends.
Best friends.
Going down to the local pub. What's it called? Black Bear or something?
Black Bull?
Black Bull, yeah. See, okay. You made it sound like I was ridiculous.
The Black Bear.
Oh, there's Corsten. There's a nice crew. Was this the New Year's show?
No, that's Tiny Talent Time, which was another fun thing we got to do. And that's something that started back in the day, and we brought it back. And it was just a weekend of seeing all these people. And it's like we were in a truck, we were doing the call. So it's something different, but it's still something fun.
It is that you mentioned, like, and I've said this with people who've come on this show who have worked here, it's like, it is different than any place I've ever worked at. Because, like, we're not, like, competitive.
No.
Not in the sense that, like, everybody's sort of in their own role. Like, if you're here for a while. Like, nobody's gunning for anyone's job here.
No, exactly.
Because, like, everybody's established. And it makes it a lot easier to come to work on days when, like, it's high stress. Like, that's, at the end of the day, we still work in news.
Yep.
Right? There's still tragic things that, you're sending Simone out to go cover.
Yeah.
And, this Viz is coming back. If it weren't for that, this job would be a lot tougher. If it was a harder place to work, like less.
I wouldn't want to get up at 3:30 in the morning to come to work.
3:30 in the
I wouldn't.
morning.
It's just like.
And like the thing about so I should point out that this suit jacket that I'm wearing, I asked you for advice on it.
Yes, I also dress people
You
here.
dress people, because I've said without a drip of sarcasm, you are the most stylish person in this building.
Thank you.
It's super impressive because you were up at 3:30 in the morning for a role not on camera. Like,
no,
I get it. Like, you were always like dressed to the nines. What is it about that? Like, is fashion styling always been something? Because I think we can look at some of these pictures again and maybe answer that question.
I think it's just, especially during COVID, I was like, I'm not going anywhere, so I'm wearing all the outfits that I would wear out to work now because we're going literally nowhere. And it's just kind of, I do like fashion. I don't call myself like a stylist by any means, but I don't know. It's just like, those are the clothes I have, so those are the clothes I'm going to wear. Oh, there's money,
that's a nice little picture. Young Laura Brody in that picture. Oh,
that was Tiff.
Dwayne, classic Dwayne. That's the one thing about coming with the 70th. Like, there's been a lot of people coming in. What's that been like? Like, to see these familiar faces
it's
every
fun,
so often.
And it takes me back for sure. Like, I can't wait for Dan and Connie to come in because, like, those are the two people that, like, I knew on air back in the day for sure. And, like, the nicest people. Like, Connie is such a sweetheart. She's so good at what she does. And I think it was just, like, I love that they're all coming back in and they can go over, like, what they did here and everything. And it's just like TV's changed and we've all followed it. They're still following it probably. Like, it's just, I think it is a great time for us to be here, for us to be celebrating the 70th, especially in this new building where it's like they all were at Jackson and it was nothing like this building at all. So I think I also want to hear like their thoughts when they come in here. Like, Alex Reynolds was here last week and he was just blown away by the studio that we're in now.
And this studio here, like, there's no green screen. There's not a single green screen in this building. And, like, you can tell, like, it shows. Yeah. Like, you watch other stations that go all green screen. And, like, that's fine, whatever. You have your reasons for doing it. But there is not one speckle of green in this studio space we're in now, which I think is a testament to the commitment of quality. Like a quality set that's been built here.
And thank God, because I would not know any of that technology.
Is what your dad did? Like, so would that have been it? Like, green screen? Like, is that what?
No, he did all like the keys
and
everything.
Keys.
Yeah. I would have no idea how to shade anything, bring in the backgrounds. Like,
what would your advice be to somebody who wants to get, maybe someone who, like you, is maybe set on a broadcast journalism program? I want to be on camera. Maybe get to the bright lights and think not. Like, what is your advice to people who want to break into TV on air or off?
I think just get your foot in the door. Like, that is the easiest way to do it because then you learn.
Even if you don't know what the job is.
Then you don't.
Even if you don't know what a PA means.
What does a PA do?
Yeah.
You just learn the fundamentals of it. So it's like, I wanted to be on air because I didn't really know how to do all the technology stuff.
Yeah.
And especially going through journalism, it's like we did the newscast, but somebody else put it to air. So I was like, this isn't the path I want to take. Even though I had been at CH, I know all the buttons and everything, but I think it's just take any opportunity. Like, if you want to be on air, do a demo reel, get on everything you can in school, and then kind of just learn the business in it. That's what I did. Like, I knew the fundamentals when I was at Mohawk, but I've learned everything else here. And it's just
to not saying no, right?
Follow.
And that was the thing.
Follow your passion.
If an opportunity, because that's what I always say, is like there's no chance to say no when you want to. Like, if you want to be on TV, like, get a job in TV and
Yeah.
work your way up. Like that, it's not easy.
No.
You're gonna need to get lucky sometimes here and there. You're gonna make some great connections every
Yep.
once in a while, but if you're gonna half-ass it every day, if you're gonna come in and just think, oh, I'm on TV,
Yeah.
like, and like I'm accused of this. Like I have a very light attitude
Yeah.
towards everything I do, whether it's here or whether it's at home. Like,
But you get the job
whatever.
done.
At the end of
Right?
the day,
It's
the
like
job's
that's-
done. We're doing a podcast
yeah.
now, right?
There it
So
is.
the job is done. But and again, it all comes back to having that support system at work.
Yeah.
Too. Because it's one thing, yes, work, personal life, work is family, but having that little bit of a mix of just like people that at work you love like family.
Yeah.
And are ready to defend them and step up. Because that's the other thing about this business. And you're pretty good at this.
Yeah.
Bringing me down a notch or two every once in a while.
Everyone has to,
Every once in a while. You're quick to point out certain comments.
I don't make the comments, it's fine.
The infamous pork chop. Yeah,
Yep.
that was one that you pointed out to
Yep.
me. You did warn me. You did say, "Are you sure you're going to be able to handle this?" And clearly, I did. I wasn't able to because
No.
I still bring it up 6 months later. But speaking of like advice, who in this building, past, present, has helped you the most professionally? Who has helped you become the broadcaster you are now?
I would say I would credit actually Karen Lawns, who used to be a director, because I wanted to learn how to direct, and I was a full-time PA at that point, so I had 5 shifts a week already. So when we used to work nights together, we would do the 6 o'clock newscast, and then we would have a break and then do the 11. So in between that break, I would sit there, she would sit as the PA just to like do what I would do, and I would direct. So I didn't ask them if I could learn how to direct. I technically got paid for it because I was on shift, but then one day she called in sick, and she was like, they're like, oh, who would we fill in? And she's like, Laura knows how to direct. And they're like, what? And she's like, Laura can do it. And that was the first day I directed.
Wow.
And it's just because I wanted to learn it, I learned it. So it's like, get your foot in the door, but don't wait for the opportunities to come to you. If you want to do something, do it. And even back in the day when I said I wanted to go into TV, like all the people that worked with my dad was like, you're not going to talk her out of it, Broads. And he was just like, I want her to do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
So it was never a don't get into TV from his side. So I always had the support of him as well. And
Even knowing what you knew.
yeah,
And now
and
here you are.
I am.
Here you are on the #1 podcast.
And I didn't have to direct it.
And you didn't have to direct it. Finally, Corsten in the building, pressing the buttons in there.
And it didn't fail, so that's good.
She says you can. He says you can if you want.
Okay.
Though. If you want to go in and direct it,
I
you can
will.
do a little swap. Maybe just cut to some like technical difficulties music here for a bit, and then just come back
See
and
what
it's
happens.
Corsten. Yeah, just come back and it's Corsten. I have been saying I want to get a camera in the studio, like one of these bird dog cameras in the studio, so Corsten can be part of the show, or so the director can be part of the show.
We don't want that.
No, you do,
No,
though.
we don't.
You do. You do want to be part of it. You always love your shout-outs on Morning Live, don't
That's true,
you?
we do, yeah.
Yeah, you always
I live for those.
People love hearing their names. It's so easy, too. Mike Corsten. Brent, what's his last name?
Bishop.
I knew that. He's my best friend. I knew that.
My
I was on
grandma
the spot.
actually.
Sorry, Brent.
My grandma used to watch every Friday for the credits so she could see my name roll by.
Secret. Should we tell the secret about the credits? About who shoots them? And is that a secret? Is that a 6 p.m.
no,
secret?
I think you can tell.
That Dwayne,
Yeah.
legendary cameraman, shoots the credits every week.
And puts himself in them
no, I was gonna
every
say that word.
week.
You gotta look for him. You gotta look for him. I did want to talk about this because obviously growing up at CH, growing up in Hamilton, you are a proud, super proud Hamiltonian.
No, I grew up in Burlington.
Oh no! But now you are. Sorry. Now you are. But being involved in, because you're a Labor Day Classic kind of
yeah.
girl, like
Yeah.
super crowd. Like you have
Yeah.
embraced the city. So okay,
I
even
have.
better. So as a Burlington, somebody grew up in Burlington,
Yeah.
how has you adapted to this life in Hamilton?
I actually think Hamilton is such a great place to be. It's like the restaurants there, the scene there. You can basically go down any street and try something new. They're not chain restaurants, and I think the food is my favorite part of it. But it's just like there's so much going on all the time in Hamilton, and it's a fun place to be.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't get my facts right on the Burlington part.
No, I'm actually-
But you live in Hamilton.
No.
What? So you're just always in Hamilton? Okay, that's my point. She loves Hamilton, even though she's in Burlington. I should really do my facts before I start my podcast. Laura, Brody, you were worried this was going to be a 5-minute show?
Yeah.
It could be an hour-long show. I was thinking about this because I was like, oh, yeah, Brody, we're going to fill like 2 hours of content. And then I realized 90% of what you and I talk about when the cameras are not on cannot be shared in a microphone with the office listening. Like, everybody's listening in there. So we'll just have to take a break then and talk about it then. Thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Great to have you on. We'll get you back on soon.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Damn it, I've said it. Now we got to do it. My thanks to Laura Brody for joining me today, and my thanks to you as well. Thanks to Mike Corsten for directing today's show as well. And Katie, I can never say her last name correctly. Katie rolled the prompter at the beginning. Laura's giving me a look. Katie, thanks for rolling the prompter. Appreciate that as well. And thank you for listening. Could not do the show without your support. Make sure you like and subscribe to CHCH Podcast so you never miss an episode of this show or any of the other great shows we have for you, including a brand new episode of Sportsline dropping later today. Bubba O'Neill, I think, is joined by Troy Islakar. So you're going to want to check that out wherever you found this podcast. One more time, thank you for listening or watching from all of us here at CHCH. I'm Louie Butko. Have a great day.